Okay, legends, welcome back to the channel with another Overlord Lord of Nazarick video. Now, in this video, we're gonna do the update of January, the new characters that dropped into the game, and we have I think we have four characters that have been added, and we're gonna do some adjustment because of the meta and the way it changed and how we're playing the game. Now that we are at late game, I'll be talking about the characters that are fully maxed invested. I will be talking and explain some suggestions about the team's early game and late game, but we're gonna fix this so it will be suitable for anybody who wanna watch back the videos, what was the metas and how it changes, and if there's a simple unit or a team that could be played around and can change your perspective. First of all, we're gonna talk about the tier list as it is. So we have PDL at tier 0, we have Albedo at tier 0 because in PvP, in PvE, they're super handy, so useful with their shields, with their protective measures, and they're with their what they do actually in treasury and in everything else. So PDL is absolutely a beast in PvE, but sadly right now we have a king in you in PvP, in PvE and PvP content. He's the best tank in the game, and everybody else will drop a little bit, which we have is isekai. Isekai came in as the best tank right now in the game, and if we want to talk about the tier list in PvP and in PvE, how it will help you, PDL drops a little bit to the bottom, and also Albedo. Albedo is still one of the best tanks. I would highly recommend her higher than PDL. Since we have isekai, you most likely will not build any more PDL, or if you want to build him specifically for stages in PvE, and that's it. Valkyrie Shaltir would go to tier 0. Yes, Valkyrie Shaltir, this is why I'm putting them in tier 0, so you understand in the future how the game will progress and what will happen. In the late game, you'll be playing Valkyrie Shaltir more than playing even Albedo. Albedo will still be nice with her taunt mechanic and everything, but the damage sharing from Valkyrie Shaltir will be absolutely impossible to go without noticing it or with ignoring that fact, because she's one of the most good characters for you to farm stages in bossing, on monster hunt, and even in any event that happens, especially Neon that we have him right now. If you don't have a Valkyrie Shaltir, you'll suffer a little bit unless you have isekai. Isekai comes in top, best in slot as a tank in every single content, which is really great because of his healing power. He heals his entire team if they counter, and he has a leader skill as well that the leader skill will help you heal all the team if anyone counters, but his passive, if you counter, you heal yourself. So it's absolutely fantastic as a mitigation. He's a healer, he's a shielder, he's a debuffer or dispeller that will cleanse things from your lineup, and he has shield wall, which he will tank instead of anybody taking damage, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, Maiden Love Albedo, from now until late game, she'll be really good. Right now, Idol Shaltir is meta, and she will be a long time meta until the game changes a little bit and we have a drop on her and we get a better AoE characters that deal even better than her. But for clearing waves in PvE content, she's the best. In bossing, she's great because of the buff block and the heal block that she does, which will help you a lot, especially that we did a guide on the Dominion Authority in the Treasury, which we utilized her heal block, so the boss won't heal, so you can at least kill him, because at the last stages or in the end, he will start dealing a lot of damage. This is what we're talking about. Renner so far is one of the most priority units, especially right now at this time on global, because of the speed that she has, and she will allow you to play the one-shot team. Now, this one-shot team does not work completely versus the isekai counter team, because they will retaliate, kill you, and they will heal themselves. This is why she drops a little bit until the new metas come into the game. You'll never use her in the far future. Maybe she will drop here. She will never be a bad unit because she gives you buffs, she gives you turn meter, and she heals, and she's super speedy. That's why we use her here. Now, Healer Mori. Right now, Healer Mori is super good in PvP, especially if you have any lineup that have speed on you, okay? So you can protect your team, do your first burst, and when the enemy attacks you, if you have Healer Mori, it will help you survive. Healer Mori helps you survive. He will proc shields and give you heal and dispel you from debuffs. Right now, he's so good. I would say he drops a little bit down because he's not the best healer. The best healer so far is Renner right now. And Mori as a healer, as the AoE Mori, the mage one, with his damages, also he heals you with the seed, which is absolutely beautiful. But Mori is still one of the top. The fact that he's not speedy and he offers only shields, heals, dispel, and try not to kill you. We'll have a better healer that will take this spot. Right now, he's one of the priority, but in the future, we're gonna see who's the priority because of the turn meter, because of the Indomitable, which is the damage not taking when we have Crush Lulu. And Crush Lulu is on the door. She's be released, I think, tomorrow or in a few weeks, because she's the next hype unit for us right now. Now, speaking about the SS tier, what's the meta right now and what's going on? Albedo, still one of the best units. Why? Because of the speed that she has, the AoE and the leader skill that she does. In PvE, in PvP, still used until today. Absolutely one of the great characters in the game. Knight Albedo, we're not going to talk about her. We talked about her in PDL healer Mori. Now, Evil Eye. Evil Eye has one of the best lineups in the game so far. Evil Eye, Idol Shaltir, Mori, and Renner. They are one team for one shot. You start with Renner, buff your Evil Eye. She gets the buffs with her Arclight, with the sets if you're playing Alchemy set on Renner, and she will start after that because she has high speed, and she will one tap every single unit, or at least get them to a low stage. Then they will proc the Seed of Mari, deal even more damage. Then you can go with Mari and deal the AoE. Then Idol Shalti with her AoE. You finish everybody on the lineup, unless they are a counter team with Isekai. They might heal, they might kill your units, and they might recover and get shields. We'll talk why they will get shields immediately with another unit that is becoming meta right now with the counter team, which is the new Yuri. So the new Yuri, what does she do? The cool thing about new Yuri is not the damages she does. She does bad damage. She's one of the worst characters for damages, okay? This is what I will say. As an SSR, she does not offer you that much of a damage. Now, the counter, the stacks that she puts on herself and then does the AoE is good. This is why she's on SS. I didn't drop her on S. This is the only thing. Now, the main important thing is with counter team. So when she counters, she gives shields. The one that counters gets shields. So anybody who counters on her team, let's say Isekai, Brain, and her on one lineup, and Valkyrie Shaltir. This is the lineup that people are playing and running the most, because all the damage mitigation from these two tanks and damages from her and from Brain. So when you counter, they get a shield, and then they will protect themselves, plus they will heal by the passive of Isekai, plus they will heal by his leader skill as well. So she will be absolutely fantastic, and then she will ramp up her damages, and when she stacks up to the maximum, she will deal a lot of damage. She needs very much time to ramp up, but right now, as we're talking on global, she's that good with the counter team. In the future, she will not even be on S rank. She will be an A or B, because she will drop, because better units will be there. But so far, for her shields, absolutely fantastic unit with a counter team. This is why we put her here. Demiurge will not drop, still one of the best units. Why? Because you can play him with the meta of the shock team with the stuns, or the freeze team with the stuns that will come later. And this is why we're talking about Zaryusu. We're gonna talk about them both together. You can play them on the same lineup, both together. He stuns, he capitalizes on stuns, and he freezes, and he reduces your turn meter. Absolutely a great unit. I was between tier 0 and SS, but we're gonna keep him at SS. This is one of the units that you must build for the future, because in the future, he will be that helpful. He never drops off of the tier list. He will stay in SS to S. Maybe this is his category or the ranking that he will be at. Absolutely a fantastic unit, a new addition. I summoned for him, absolutely nice. At 3 stars, he's doing wonderful things for me. Now, if you got his Arclight, he gets Indomitable. Same as Isekai. Isekai at 6 stars, he gets Indomitable for himself. It means invulnerable to damage or death, or you can say he cannot take a fatal hit, and he gives another unit on 6 stars another reduction, or not getting killed for 1 round. It happens once per turn, I think, or every 24 rounds. So at least we're gonna say he does not get one shot. One unit on your lineup does not get one shot. If he's playing with a counter team with his Arclight, he doesn't get one shot. If you're playing her, she doesn't get one shot. So let's say you're playing Brain, you're playing Zaryusu, you're playing Valkyrie Shaltir, and you're playing 6-star Isekai. None of them will die as a one-shot from the start of the battle. He will save himself, Isekai, by his passive. He will save another unit by his 6-star, let's say it's Brain. She will save herself because she has another life, so she will stay alive. And he will have Indomitable on his skill with his Arclight, so he will not die. So the one-shot team that we were talking about, the best one-shot AoE team, cannot kill them, and they will die because of that counter attack that will happen to them. Absolutely a great addition for the counter team. I would say you must play him with Isekai is a must, and the best set for him is the Vert Mari, playing him with reduction on his cooldowns, so you can spam his second skill and spam his ultimate after that, and he will freeze. It means he will allow you to miss your turn. Absolutely beautiful. Now, another lineup that they're playing with him is playing a speed team with the speed demon Demiurge for the stuns, playing PDL with shock, and playing the aura as well, the one with the shock. So you can have shock team that can stun, and you can freeze with him, and you can stun with the burns that Demiurge has. So absolutely a full control team. You can spice it up with adding Knight Albedo for taunts. You can spice it up with adding Yuri for stuns. It depends on you, and you can play Pistonia for silence as well. Pistonia is still a great healer, but she will drop up in the future. She will be a complete PvE unit more than PvE in the future because of what she does. She gives you the defense boost, of course, when you build her passives or you build her skills, but the silence and the turn meter that she gives for one, and the turn meter, and she buffs her turn meter, and she silences units. She drops off a little bit to go to the S category. I would say she's on top of the S category because of her utility. Ego Aura goes up a little bit because of the meta right now with the stuns. You need her. If you build her for a stun control team, you're absolutely doing wonderful, and she have the potential to one-shot. Brain still stays the king of the SS category because of everything that he does. Absolutely wonderful. Now on S rank, Nabe, absolutely a wonderful unit. It still works with the shock team. If you're playing here with Ego Aura, you need speed just on that team, and then you can ramp up, and you can go and shock your units. If you have one speedy unit and you have Ego Aura and her and another shock unit, that will help you a lot, and she can one tap. She does the same job as Idol Shaltir, but on a smaller scale, because every time she kills somebody, she reduces her attack, kills somebody, reduces her attack, kills somebody, reduces her attack. She can go and do that. Absolutely a wonderful unit. Aura and Momon. I would say Momon in PvP right now for the counter team and the defense reduction that he does is better than Aura in PvP. And PvP only singling one target. If you want to go and kill one target, Aura does better than him. So he's basically better on semi-AoE lineup when one-shotting with his ultimate and going to other characters. But Aura, for a single target, she just focuses on one and absolutely destroys them. The bad thing about Aura, and why I would say Momon is kind of better in PvP, not in PvE, because of the dispelling. If the enemies dispel the Aura weakness that she puts on the so she can pursue it with her chase on top of them, if they remove it, she can't pursue anyway, and you need to go and attack again so you can put the mark on them. That's the only reason. In PvE content, both of them I would say great for bossing. Great for bossing. Because Momon reduces or nullifies 75% of the defense of the target, and because of Aura, because of the chase, unbelievable turn meter rotation with her arc light. This is why you need them. I would say in the future, we're never gonna see Momon anyway, but because people built him, he's meta right now. In the future, both of them will not be played in PvP, but in PvE they will be nice and crucial and will help you a lot. Cocytus, the normal Cocytus, still one of the best AoE characters as PvE go. Now, you can play him on PvP because of his bleed function and because he reduces ER. Absolutely fantastic unit, but he drops off a little bit. Now, Black first, I would say SS, he will go up. Now, if you build him to 5-star, you can build him to 5-star. Everybody can have the opportunity to have him at 5-star. I have him at 4-star, but 5-star will be absolutely fantastic for him. He's one unit that can one-shot with his second skill, absolutely unbelievable, and he removes shield wall like Icy Cocytus, removes support for Yuri, removes support for PDL. A great unit in general, and removes shields, and absolutely a monster of a damage dealer. Now, what's the downfall of him? That he does not survive a lot. You need him on a surviving team. I would say also the counter team or a little bit of a protection team around him so he can be your main damage dealer. Again, another set that you can build him on is the Vert Mari set. Why? Because you reduce the cooldown of your second skill, so you can spam your second skill on him and he requires crit rate. Absolutely a fantastic unit. Now, we're talking about the Narbaral. Narbaral drops a little bit to the B rank. Why is that? And she will be on top of the B rank. She's a great unit with a captain leader. You don't require her on shock team. She adds a good value on shock team. She's one of the best units to play on shock team. but you don't actually need her. You can play the shock team without her. Still, she offers a lot of good AoE damage. Yuri is still up there because of her speed, nothing else. Now, she can protect, she can stun, but her speed for you in PvP to start, and in PvE, she's super helpful with her second skill, so she stays as a unit on S rank as an SR unit. Now, in the future, we're gonna get a lot of SSRs, even Brain and everybody else you're gonna see dropping. Brain is super important for counter team right now. In the future, you're not gonna use him as well. Just build him up. He's a good unit. He's an SR. He's free to get 6-star, and you're gonna have him. Now, A ranks, Gazef and Sebas, still good, and you can play them on any lineup. I would say Gazef right now is better than Sebas. Why? Now, we saw that Sebas is a one-shot king, that you played him with full maids on the lineup. Okay, but this is not meta, and in PvP, actually, whoever uses them, their win rate is something between 2 to 3%. So if they play 100 games, they might win 3 of them if their opponent is super weak or they have brain damage and they don't think good. But Gazef, if you play him on a counter team, he absolutely shreds, okay? But you need him at 5 stars at least, 6 stars where he shines, and you need his Arclight at 3 stars also at least for him to deal that much of a damage. He deals even better damage than the new Yuri. This is what I can guarantee you with him. A great unit to play with counter team. Counter team makes any unit good. So we tried an rated unit with a counter team, and it was the best damage dealer. This is how isekai makes everybody good in this meta. Now, another unit that goes up one, which is Pandora's Actor. We tried Pandora's Actor with the counter team. It's almost impossible to win against a team that have Pandora's Actor. So we're playing the new Yuri, we're playing Pandora's Actor, Brain, and we're playing the Isekai. This lineup with Pandora's Actor, because of all the buffs that he gives your team, even the tank, which is Isekai, deals insane amount of damage after that, and he can give you a shield as an immunity to death, to damage, to everything. He can give immunity, which is unbelievable. He gives any type of buff in the game, which is a crazy unit to play. This is where we're seeing him now shine, to be honest. Now, the other units, we'll be talking about them really fast. Nigun drops a little bit down, I would say here. We have Enri and we have Hamsuke. Enri, absolutely a fantastic unit in PvE especially, and in PvP for free-to-play players and low spenders, such as myself. I play her on PvP. I can't tell you how many times she saved my run. I won in PvP because of her. Even if I start second and she survives, when she gets a turn or she gets hit, she might proc her passive with her Arclight, which drops a goblin and stuns an enemy. And sometimes these stuns are clutch and they will give you the advantage in the team. Absolutely fantastic. She buffs defensively and offensively. Her defensive buff, still until now, the best defensive buff in the game. She gives you damage reduction on any type of damages, not only physical, not magical, but everything, which is absolutely fantastic. Even through damage, she gives you damage reduction for that. This is how good she is as an SR, one of the most underrated units. Hamsuke, absolutely you will need her in every single mode, in PvE, in PvP as well. In PvP, you can play her on the best lineup, which is with Evil Eye and Shaltir, and you can replace Mari, remove this Mari, and with Renner. So Renner, Idol Shaltir, Evil Eye, and Hamsuke. Why? Hamsuke reduces the damage, the defenses of your targets, magical and physical, by 200, and it reduces 21% of the magical and the physical in total. So it means after he reduces the 200 flat percent, he goes the 200 flat damage or defenses, he reduces 21% of the total defense that you still have, which is crazy. So you can potentially one-shot with Evil Eye even without using Idol Shaltir. But Idol Shaltir will guarantee you to pop everybody that dies, or she uses her ultimate and kills everybody. Plus, he can go and use his AoE or her AoE, it doesn't matter what her gender is. So Hamsuke uses the AoE, and this target that you targeted with the AoE will get an auto attack by chase or an assist from the highest damage character, which will be Evil Eye most likely, and then you can one tap them as well. And his damages is good actually if you play him on termination set if you wanna. Now, for an upgrade from here, I would just mention them because they're really good right now. If you wanna play this type of lineup, which is Peter goes to A and Gagaran goes to A. CZ, I want to put her on A, but no, she's still here. Entoma goes up. Inferior goes down, him goes down because we're not gonna use him in chase anymore. Lucrot goes 1 up. I'll be talking quickly about them and explaining why. Now, Peter, Gagaran, I would say higher than Peter. Gagaran, do not build him as free-to-play or low spenders. Even if you're higher a little bit than low spender, if you're a casual spender, do not build her. The problem with her damages are not that good. Unless you max her and give her awaken and gems and everything and put your heart and soul on her, you will never use her in the future. We're gonna get better units, especially for counter teams. You're using them with Isekai, Brain, herself, and the healer. And this would work to a certain extent because of all the counter, but you already have Isekai and Brain and your entire team will counter. Why using her every time you attack to counter? It will not, because somebody will counter and she will counter as well. Very high whales. If you don't care and you have money dropped and you build every single character, yes, play that. It will be nice, but you need to do a lot of investment on her, and wasting all of this investment for random players or players like free to play or low spenders, that would be absolutely destroying your account. Peter as well, do not invest in him, do not build him, not worth it. Why is he an A rank right now? In this meta, you can play a full adventure team. You can play him with Momon, with Nabe, and absolutely play a lineup on turn meter. You can play Lucrot. This is why we upgraded Lucrot. Lucrot is also another adventurer. You can play them together and you can play with them. Now this character, I think he's adventurer as well. You can play him Zaryusu with them as well. So you have a stun or a freeze, which is a stun. You have damage, and you have damage with him or damage with Nabe. You can boost your turn meter every time an adventurer attack, another adventurer attack, which means everybody will attack, which is absolutely a nice theme. Turn meter will be boosted for you. You can go 2 rounds hitting your enemy without them hitting a single hit, which is absolutely nice. Again, you need to build him so much. You need to put investment. I wouldn't highly recommend. If I'm putting my advice to free to play, I would put them here. But this is an overall general tier list for PvE and PvP, for whales, low spenders, and free to play. And this is where they fall. They fall in this category as good characters if you want to play specifically, strictly in PvP. This is strictly in PvP, not in PvE. In PvE, yes, I would say he helps a little bit. Some situations when you earn more points on Holy Runes, you might build Gagaran, but other than that, we're not gonna see them. Nigun drops, yes, he's good in PvE, in Treasury, in Dominion Treasury, that's all. This is the best place. In PvP, he's so good early game to mid game, and then he falls off because you have better healers, better damage dealers. Counter team do not revolve around him anymore. Lupus Regina at the start of the game or beta, if you start the game and you want to early game build a good unit to heal you, she's so consistent with her heals. Again, I would highly recommend building Nigun or Henry. They're even better, but still she's good with dispelling because she will be your only dispeller at the start of the game if you didn't build any of this, or if you start the game early when we started and we didn't have all of these units and the variety that we can choose from. Jugam, another unit that is good for PvE, for bossing specifically. You can pair him up with Hamske and both of them will reduce the damages in the negative zone to the bosses, which is absolutely nice, and you can depend on him. He does a little bit of good damages and he can help you out with a chase team, and you can play his captain skill, which give higher tier of defense. Not super important, but still okay unit. I would say Entoma is better than CZ in general because she has the one-shot potential with a shock team. She can buff her ultimate and use her first skill and one-shot a unit, especially if they have shock, she will deal even more damages. CZ, a unit that depends on reload. If you keep her alive on your lineup and surviving, she will reload infinitely and then she will hit one ultimate and absolutely destroy people. Death Knight, still one of my favorite. I would put him high up, but because of everybody that we have better tanks. Look how many tanks we have. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top ranking as tanks. These are absolutely fantastic, and we have an SR unit that is super speedy and you can use her as a tank, which will make the other tanks look bad, but they're not that bad actually. They're okay-ish. Death Knight is also a speed demon. You can play him as a speedy character, but he's not as highly valuable as Yuri. So this is why with his damage sharing and he does not die immediately, you need to kill him twice. 8th, I think he's a good unit at the start of the game, but you never build him. Clementine, the only thing that vows for her is she's the third fastest unit in the entire game. And you can build her on speed teaming for a third team. You can do that. But other than that, she's lackluster in everything. And Furia, sadly, nobody will use him because Pandora's actor is 3 times a better version than him. For chase, for PvE content, you can play him for bossing, 9th, and that's it. Look, Root, we talked about him. All the other units, they're good, okay? Solution is also good. She's speedy. Everything is good about them, but they're not as valuable, or they will not help you. I know people will die because Solution is the best, Solution is the best for you. But in general, talking PvE and PvP, they're not that much. And the last entry on our list, which is in a B rank, I would say he's between B and C. He's not that important. The cool thing about him as a tank, that he would give you taunt, a little bit of taunt and disruption, but he can't taunt consistently the same unit. So if you taunted this unit this round, you go to the second round, you can't taunt the unit. They will take a cooldown or a debuff or a buff on themselves that they can't be taunted by this character until this round ends. So it's not that helpful. His stats are meh, is okayish. I would say he's high C, low B. I will keep him at B for more testing. Maybe he goes up. He will never go up, by the way. He will go down a little bit more because I think Death Knight is way better than him. I think 8th is way better than him because he can protect your entire lineup. But for now, I'm gonna keep him at B. I will just put it in my doubts to check even more and give you a better analogy. Now, this tier list is not built around PvP or PvE. This is an overall tier list. I'm gonna be making a separate tier list for PvP, a separate tier list only for PvE, and show you how this all changes for PvE and PvP. You're not gonna see Renner. Renner will be maybe in D rank. I know for sure she's gonna be between A to D. She'll not be in tier 0 or SS or S as a healer in PvE content. You'll most likely never use her. You'll use different units that gives you utilities actually. Somebody like let's say Yuri, she'll be in top tier 0 as a PvE unit because she helps a lot in PvE and PDL as well, and same goes for other units. This is how it would change, but in general, in total and overall, what is meta and where we use them in PvE, you can use Renner everywhere if you want, and she's so crucial in PvP right now because of the speed that she offers. And yeah, that was it for the video. I'll be seeing you in the next one.